Why not to spy lizard? There's a place in the when it's
Grown up with, I have to lead the pack. I have to be in front. I have to be first. I cannot be nothing else but first. And I need it.
I'm like, shit, there's no problem.
And you're panicking.
What? I'm not joking. And you're like, what am I supposed to be doing?
One very key thing I think he said is this forward ever, backward never. I think it's another thing that we need to mention on this podcast. So just
Hi guys.
good afternoon. This is our first official episode with a guest. You probably know already, to be honest. But like today she's a guest and I'm your host. And my name is Dipo.
And my name is Abimbola.
And it's great to have you guys here. Thank you for joining us. And so today
I'm being gentle because I'm a guest. Otherwise, I'd have been talking a lot more. But
today you're giving calm vibes.
Just thanks so much for having me.
No, my pleasure. My pleasure. Yeah, so great to have you.
Thanks so much.
I mean, I think it's a landmark. It's a small milestone that we can celebrate. It's our first official episode.
Woo!
Even though, like, we are the ones playing the role, but yeah.
But even though,
even though we're here. Yeah, so I
sure.
think first thing is we would like to know about you. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, something that we don't know. Tell us about yourself, what you do, who you think you are, and maybe what your friends say about you. Yes. Yeah, don't prepare for that one.
Oh wow, who do you think you are and what your friends say about you? My name is Abimbola. Surname not important because, like, whatever.
It's gonna change.
Oh my gosh, stop it. My name is Abimbola. What do? I'm a storyteller. I like to think of myself as a storyteller. In all ramifications, I write, I talk, and I currently professionally work with storytellers to advocate for change in how Africa is seen. So if you're someone putting out a story that makes the world think differently about Africa, I probably work with you as an advocate. I'm big on campaigns, crusades, influencing, things like that. Who I think I am. That's interesting. I'm going to it's a Yoruba name in Yoruba fair. The King's Beloved. Pa pa pa. That's who I think I am. I think I'm marked by, the King's love. But more importantly, I think I'm chill. I'm cool. I'm hilarious. I'm actually hilarious.
I can
Yeah,
attest to
like that's you can say I'm not fine. It's fine, but you cannot say I'm not funny. I'm hilarious. What else? Yeah, I like food. My friends think I'm cool. My friends think I'm responsible, which is painful because they keep bringing work to me.
Well,
yeah. I would like for them to see me as a lazy. I think some of them are beginning to catch up. See me as a lazy person that should be taken care of 24/7. But some of them I've casted in some areas. So other than that, yeah. And I'm very excited to be on the FailProof Podcast today because, like, oh my god.
And to be launching
the first
our guest episodes.
Like, what?
Amazing.
You might see me be host later, but that's not the point. The
Today,
point is
right now, in this moment,
she's
our guest. Yeah, so good to have you. I think you're probably the only person that I know that does the kind of work you do. I think it's very interesting. Like, you're trying to change. I think it's deeper than let's not talk about my work. But like, it's deeper than it's not like what the average person does, or like what the average African does. So like, well done, kudos. So today we're here to talk about a topic that is maybe not too comfortable for a lot of Africans.
I feel like there should be a tissue box.
Just in case.
Guys, psychosocial support.
All right, we're going to...
It's okay, we're Nigerian.
We're Nigerians. Can you... I'm going to run you through like different parts or different areas of our lives as humans, and then you tell me if you've ever failed, right? And maybe tell me like an experience that you've had with failure in that field. And maybe the first one would be in... I'll start off with one you're not expecting. So relationships or friendships. Have you ever failed? So relationships or friendships, do you think that you've ever failed at any? And if are you comfortable sharing any story?
Yeah, that face I was making, I think is just very, very typical of like the way I feel about it. I feel like I was already defending myself against some kind of negative reaction. He's talking about failure. Have I failed in relationship? No. Because who did not bag me, did not bag me. It's them that failed. Me,
It's them, not you.
I succeeded in walking out of it. Drops mic, even though our mic is standing.
Great. So it's fine.
That's romantic relationships.
Okay.
But more
don't remember something good. There's
there
just
is a
comment.
day. More generally,
Alright.
yes, I have failed, and it's not necessarily because the relationship came to an end. It's because I realized that the me that was in the relationship is not really me. I was bringing another version of me to the relationship, and of course, that made for it to be unhealthy, and it made for it to crash. I can give this example. Friendship. I have terminated a friendship intentionally before. Now that I think about it, that I'm a bit older, should I have done that? Like, I've told someone, let's not be friends anymore. Come and be going. Don't be my like. If we jam on the road, if we jam on the road, let's say hi. I was like, I don't like the way you make me feel, and things like that. Now that I think about it, it very much probably relates to like the level of wisdom I had at the time. And like, yeah, the tolerance also, because you don't have to tell someone let's not be friends, but you can stop being friends with them, right? So yeah, but like, to be very honest with you, the biggest failure that I've experienced as in relationship is with older people. Older Nigerian people, I'm sorry, they are bullies. They're actually bullies. They want to chop your eye and not make you stand up to them. And I just realized a few years ago that if I keep letting that happen, if I never stand up, if I don't embody the Gen Z value and the Almoensas generation of like, I get coconuted, yeah, they will just take advantage of everything. So yeah, those are the areas.
But do you even consider that as failure per se? Because it was would you say that maybe there was a better approach, right? You could have maybe managed it, but I think that if there's an environment that doesn't work for you and you communicate it repeatedly and the other party seems not to change or even be willing to accommodate your feedback, I think that it's okay for you to work out of those relationships. So is there something you could have done if you had a completely separate version of yourself in a friendship, right, to keep up? I think it was that person's responsibility to make your normal version feel welcome, right? So do you even, looking back,
really a failure?
Yeah,
I would say it's a failure, yes, because there was a different outcome that I wanted.
Okay.
To what I got.
Okay.
So
which is a good point.
which is like, if what you wanted was this, as we were talking, I said, my ex is there's one that comes to mind.
That you failed.
I failed.
Oh yeah.
I failed. I failed woefully. I failed to stay and I failed to leave at different points. When I should have stayed, the way I should have stayed, I didn't stay. When it was time to leave, I failed to pack my bag in my leg and my slippers
Your leg.
and dust it and leave. And I mean, these things you only know in retrospect. Like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I was telling you one the other time. Somebody that has sense. Should I continue?
You did.
So, like I said, now we win last, but I failed on the journey of it. I feel like if I share my chest to just another question, please.
Okay. So I think we'll move straight from friendships and relationships now to school and career and work. So have you ever, it dates back to primary school, because there are some of us that it's primary school.
Even nursery.
Exactly. So like, have you ever failed in that
space?
Yeah, in that space.
First of all, I'm a stellar student. If you remember the last episode, I had my computer. I'm on my way to be a prof. And like, I wish I could, hold that whatever together, that repetition. My only problem is physics, home economics, finance, technical drawing, intro tech.
It's not like 7 problems.
Food and
It's
not-
not looking like 7 problems.
Apart from physics, the only thing if it involves my hands, like hands should be doing something. Oh, practical, get a lizard, dissect it,
That lizard
draw the
one.
guy, dissect it, label it. In fact, I wept a lot in school because of practicals. I remember vividly St.
But
Joseph Secondary School.
We used to be excited about. I mean, practical was like an excuse from the academic side. You wanted that.
Yeah! Give me the book. Theory, objective, anyone. Don't give me practical. I don't know if they told people to do like this thing where you buy. My school was quiet. Judge me. We entered Agege Market to buy rats. Well, lighter light. I bought my rats 1.5. I remember.
I'm sure they cost more now too.
We entered because I said we used to go and buy those
Are you
that you
serious?
buy
I never
tortoise, you
did
buy
that.
lizard. There's a place in Agege Market where they sell all sorts of weird things. So
Like
we were supposed to
live rats or
yes, because the assignment was you're supposed to take a rat. You're supposed to boil it in hydrogen peroxide. You're supposed to shed off the skin of the rats, but you're supposed to preserve the skeleton of the rats. And then, as kind of your skeleton is like this, you're supposed to draw that skeleton.
well, that's like
Wait now.
You're in what class?
SS, Mr. Campos, SS2.
Jesus.
SS2. You're supposed to draw it. Now, people were having fun because it was an opportunity to stroll to the market together. People who found their rats at home were like the big boys that are like, because it needs to pay.
As
Some of us
in,
enter market one like we're looking for where to buy a rat. I bought my rat for 1.5, which is very expensive considering this is 20. I don't know. I was maybe 16. No, sorry, I apologize. I must have been 12. Yeah, so like whatever. And
12 in SS2, by the way. This girl she's at quite
like
a
I
journey.
said, prof, apart from physics, but do you know that in all of this, we were all together. Everybody was boiling their rats. It's only my rats that broke. And the assignment was bring the bone and bring the drawing. So your drawing was resemble your bone. My bone broke. My rat, my 1,500 naira rat bone broke. I just went there. I'm like, Mr. Campos, there's no I want to do it. There's no.
I'm overboard.
I suck. For WAEC, all those practicals of do meeting for table mat or whatever. I used to gamble. Jamila and Zile that year. I don't know, I've not spoken to you guys in a while, but like shout out to you. I used to like exchange. I would do the academic bits of their work. They would meet for me. Food and not. No, physics made me cry in university. I wept like a child. So have I failed at academics? No. But physics, food and not, technical drawing, intro-tech, all those things. I failed woefully. Absolutely woefully.
And do you think it had any impact as to how you, like in the long term, approach maybe life? Or, because again, you mentioned that what you did was, and again, it was definitely a smart thing at that age to identify that I'm not good at this stuff. There is no point. So how did you know that it was a skill that you could discard or you could exchange or you could do without?
I didn't even know it was a skill I could discard. My brain just always blocked it out as if you like fail, if you like don't fail. And you're not gonna win.
Maybe because it was also not heavily rewarded. Like the marks for practicals were not.
Maybe.
Was there ever a time that maybe you affected your final score?
I didn't even care enough to check. I didn't, but like you were asking how did I reckon that? It's a weak point. I feel the pain here. When you're trying to solve something, you just grow here. I was just like, it affected me a lot because even now, if you notice, I'm talking about like I don't fail, but I have a but. Now, I cannot confidently step up to physics or step up to. In fact, till this, I cannot bake because it has to do with your hands. But like one time, actually, and maybe this is the lesson I learned. One time, when I was living in a country that has no regard for puff puff, and I needed to eat puff puff, I went on YouTube and I tried to make puff puff. The first attempt was so bad. it looked like
It
kwashiorkor.
wasn't puffing.
It was not puffing. The second attempt was so bad, and I was crying. The thing is, when I fail at something, I feel very strong physical reactions to it because I'm a firstborn daughter. We don't used to fail in our family.
You're almost not allowed.
Firstborn daughter, are you? No. So I just, and I was always a good student. So the little bits of failures
Feelings
always
of
like hits
inadequacy,
really hard.
Yeah.
Eventually, I figured out that if you care about something enough, you can go at it again and again, which is what happened because I absolutely love pop. Second favorite food in my life is pop. No, it has moved to third. Number 1 is amala. Number 2 is bread. Number 3 is pop. Okay, so I was able to go back again and again until one day I actually made good pop. And from then I can say I now make good pop. But like if I bring that to here, what it does is block me from trying. If I know that I suck at any practical, I will not go near it. And I don't care about the consequences. Fail me. Remove my marks. I will just not approach it. And I don't think that's fair because that's stupid. Because people are actually having fun on the practical. People are actually like cutting slippers out of cardboard, doing paper mache and having fun. Even if you get a low mark. But I just really prevented myself from experiencing any of that just because I already know that I'll fail.
So I was going to ask, my next question was going to be that, do you think that the fact that you were so good at the academic side meant that you felt the need to also be the best? I mean, that you were almost always the best, right? Also meant that you felt the need to always want to be, like, anything below first or second was bad for you. So you couldn't even enjoy it because you're like, there are already like 10 people that do this thing better, that are doing this thing better than me. So why can't I just check out? And do you see that also playing in like maybe environments that you've been in life? Like you always feel the need to be first. And it may stem from that first daughter syndrome where you're like, there's no chance you cannot fail. They're not like, there's no allowance for you to fail. Do you think that was probably what prevented you? And have you seen like instances in life where you're in an environment and you feel the need to be the best, and then any small
taint,
like it impacts you a lot?
I have a story to tell you. Absolutely, it does impact, and it's just in the enjoyment of the journey. So you were even saying something about how like, oh, if you don't come first or second, then you don't enjoy. Even when I come first or second, I still don't enjoy because I'm overthinking. That one is another flaw. Certified overthinker. I am thinking through every step of the process because I'm so gripped with there must be no space for failure in all of this. So I don't care if you will be up 24/7 making sure things are working. You must ensure, and that takes away like the beauty from everything. In fact, I hate myself for that sometimes. Maybe very good. Remember how we went on the Euro tour? What day did you pack? I don't know which day you traveled, but like how early did you pack?
Oh, I probably finished packing like, I think it was on the morning before the flight.
The morning. People, I packed 2 weeks ahead. And I don't mean I packed, then I left it for 2 weeks. I mean I packed every day for 2 weeks. Packing, repacking, packing, repacking, packing, repacking. Why? I must pack perfectly. I don't want to forget anything. I simulated outfits in my head. I packed Siri. I packed like mad. And I still did not feel satisfied with what I got. So yes, that relationship with failure does remove a lot of joy from the process. And
I think for the and I want to dwell on this part because I think it's a trend, and I kind of know a few people who are first daughters that struggle with this thing. So how do you manage not being the best, especially in an environment where you cannot? Like, you know that you're smart, right? And then you find yourself in a new environment and you don't have the tools, or maybe you don't have the resources to succeed, but there's an expectation. And then you are required to do work. Yeah, necessarily, there's no demand to be the best, but like the demand to be the best comes from inside. Have you ever been in that environment where there's pressure on you to lead? or pressure on you to deliver the best of yourself and you cannot? And how do you handle it? Or maybe you've never.
Okay, you see, as you were asking this question, it just hits me now that, when we started this thing, we said this is an experiment on failure.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, as we were speaking, I was already searching for solutions. And I had to tell myself that they did not ask you to bring solutions.
Okay.
They're literally saying, talk about the problems. So now I'm reminding Abimbola to talk about the problems. Absolutely. I feel like, again, in almost everything, there's that need. I remember the story. Thank you, Jesus. It was during my master's. And I did it in the UK. And we did the first assessment. So the school system I did for undergrad was the American system. This is the first time I'm going into the British system. In the American system, a 90 is an A. And 89 is a B+. So, I'm used to that. In my head, I'm thinking, Jay, the 1 minute. I finished with first class. I'm not your mates. I'm going to dust this thing up. I remember one of my aunties, Sister Banke, texting me the first few weeks, oh, hey, Beams, how's it going? I'm like, Banke, why did we even pray for this opportunity? This is too cheap.
Easy.
It's too cheap. Your students that are in the class with me. What's all this? We did the first assessment. I got a 62 out of 100. My world collapsed. My entire world collapsed because I'm used to 80s, 90s. And now I'm getting a 62. Never mind the fact that actually, according to this system, a 62 is actually pretty damn good.
And I know some of my guys will be celebrating a 50, 55.
Yeah, because if 70 is a distinction, a 62 is a strong merit.
It's not so bad.
It's not, but I spiraled. I'm serious. I actually had to speak to my academic tutor in school. I had to talk to, they really care about mental health. I had to talk to a counselor. It was affecting me. It was making me feel like, do I not know how to be a student anymore? Or am I what's it do? It was so bad. And it took time. And I spoke to that auntie again. First of all, she laughed at me. She was like, you were very quick to say it's been before. Now look at this. And it took a lot of confronting myself first and having to reassure myself. It took a lot of talking with the Holy Spirit and saying, okay, you know what, Lord, let's do this school thing together because I'm losing it. It's not like I was failing, no.
So I was going to speak to that it was not even really about the school standards. It was
my own standards. And this reminds me, earlier you asked about failures in the relationship, whatever. I think just to emphasize on that one a little bit, one constant thing there is still this standards thing, especially as a firstborn daughter. I feel like we are raised or conditioned to just constantly meet and exceed standards from every direction. What your auntie wants, you will fit it. What your mother wants, you will fit it. What your teacher wants, you fit it. What your younger ones want, you fit it. To the point where you will forget what you want. If at any point you dare check what you want and it conflicts with what someone else wants, you are and where have you heard that the firstborn daughter is the black sheep of the family? I don't understand. You are the prototype sheep. You are not allowed to.
The standard.
You are the standard. You are the one that cannot make mistakes. So you're the one that should never even complain. You're the co-parents. My parents will literally be telling me, "Oh my God, you are their mother. You are the one this." And in your mind, you're like, first of all, problem that you cannot solve.
You're the parents.
You should hear my father telling me about my younger brother. You cannot talk to that boy.
Good.
Good. It is frustrating. And like I said, it wasn't even about the distinction or the scores, because with a little bit of work, I was able to learn the new system, British versus American, get better. But that first block was just, nobody must know that I am messing up. Even if nobody is me, it must never be heard. But do you understand? Sure. It's just very, bro, shout out to firstborn daughters, man.
Well, you guys rock. You guys rock. And I think I've seen a few people make jokes on social media, talk about how the firstborn daughter is the assistant parent, and I think, it's a joke. We laugh over everything, but
It's
again,
not a joke.
people should realize that it is a standard that they end up carrying all through their lives if they are not conscious, right? It's like you are in a space, and if you look at it, it wasn't even a question of, because again, if your school had said 70 is a distinction, or if your school had said 60 is a distinction, you probably would have been fine, right? Because you are used to leading the pack. It's never like, so it's not like the school wasn't working for you. There are people that will be praying for that 62 you got. But like I was just saying, I think it's what you've grown up to be, that, oh, I have to lead the pack. I have to be in front. I have to be first. I cannot be nothing else but first. And I need it.
And you know the problem with that is, even when you come to a place of rest, you don't know how to rest. It's actually troubling. Like, I don't know how many firstborn daughters feel the same way. You've gone through, and growing up as a Nigerian, you look at life as hurdles. Primary school, you've graduated. Secondary school, you've graduated. You maybe now uni, maybe you've gotten your first degree, your second degree, maybe you have a good job. When you come to a place where there's now no, I legit sit down many days and I'm like, shit, there's no problem around me.
And you're panicking.
What am I saying? I'm not joking. And you're like, what am I supposed to be doing?
Oh my God.
What am I supposed to be doing?
Fixing?
What am I supposed to be fixing? And like I said, the one instruction that has been constant from God to me in the recent years is just rest. I don't know what do you mean by that?
What do you?
Sometimes I understand when African parents come in and they're like, "You're just sitting down.
You're just
at peace."
This table. Actually, you see how
it creates this deep restlessness in you, which I feel also inhibits your creativity. I would not be shocked if we do some research and find out that firstborn daughters are really creative. You find they are more organizational. They are admin. They are very, it must go this way, project managers, whatever. They are, I doubt that they are creative.
You must calculate.
You must,
because you can't, your risk has to be minimal. You can't
make mistakes. Are you kidding me?
You can.
You know, I even dare say firstborn daughters have it worse than firstborn sons.
Oh, yes.
Because like firstborn sons, like you have the power and the authority, not so much the responsibility.
Oh yes.
So like when someone is, firstborn daughter, just chill. That's work. If you tell me chill, I will tell you, please give me the steps to chill. Number one, chill. What should I do?
How long
Number
should I chill
two,
for?
yes, and tell me how long it's going to.
Now you go tired. You will
Bro,
you said,
bro, don't chill, please. Just be thinking.
Nah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. So I mean, it's amazing just hearing this perspective. I think I have friends that that have gone through, or that are currently even going through this. Like they inherited responsibility very early on, and like it has transcended every other part of their life. And even like in their relationships, you find out they're the ones giving the most, right? You're the one putting your neck. Yep. But yeah, thank you.
My face.
I think that. But yeah, one more side of people's lives and failures is, I think it's unique to your story, right? And because we've spoken about it a few times. How did you handle? Because there's that thing where people, once you relocate, people feel like you have access to a better life, and then for any reason, if you come back, you have failed,
bro.
And I know you've been to the UK. You're currently in Lagos. You shuffle Abuja a lot. How do you manage feedback from people on your choice
that look like failure?
Yeah, that looks like failure to them.
I'm happy you remember, because even me, I forgot. Like, until you said it now. The first 14 years of my life, I lived in Lagos. Then I went to live the next 6 years in Nairobi. Coming back to Lagos from Nairobi after 6 years was actually like me declaring failure. I'm remembering now, things are flooding my head. I'm remembering conversations with like the family I was staying with, and how the choice to go, and I made the choice. The choice to go back was like, can't believe you are giving up. I can't believe, you are, I had classmates who meant well that were telling me, bro, there's something for you in Nigeria. You're just going to go there and just waste away. But why not hustle? Why not this? Why not that? First of all, My entire life has been hustle. Forget the
Hustle
fine girl.
everywhere.
Bro, emotional, financial, my entire life. So the choice to come back, I did not even at that point. How old was I? 19? 20? 20. I wasn't thinking of, oh, what does this look like to human beings? It was after I made the choice.
Yeah, you realize
that the backlash, I was not like, in my head, I was just like doing the next easy thing to do. I was thinking, okay, I'll come here, figure it out. I was supposed to go to Tanzania to start a new job. That one fell through. Somebody just randomly advised me, please start NYC. And I was like, okay. At some point, someone very close to me, I don't even want to mention names, looked at me and was like, why not just go to a supermarket and get a job as like an attendant? And I'm like, first class. And that was the first part. So fast forward, I mean, I started working, took like about 6 years to get full funding for my master's, which another like failure story because every year back to back rejection.
We'll break it down.
Eventually, I go to the UK. I get my master's distinction as well. And of course, nobody is saying, what are you doing? Because of course you are staying here. Of course you collect papers. Like, are you mad? I start working. It's a good whatever. I moved to London. Life is okay until I realize this is not the life I want. Now, the problem is opening your mouth to tell fellow Nigerians that you who escaped
to the UK.
Now, as you are blaspheming,
that this is not the life you want. How dare you?
It took a lot of balls, excuse my language, for me to first admit to it was in April 2022. I was just talking with the Lord, like, God, don't be angry. Don't be angry. I was just thinking that maybe if peradventure, where we can move back to Nigeria. It was just a thought. And then and then increasingly, the more I prayed about it, whatever, I only got the nerve to tell people, like maybe 2 weeks to when I was leaving, that I'm moving back to Nigeria. And thank God for like 2 people in my life who are actually also firstborn daughters that are older, that just care for me. I don't want to use the word mentor. I feel like it's impersonal. They are more like auntie and mother to me. And they were just like, Abimbola, from everything you've said, it makes sense. That was what gave me the courage to even believe in myself. And then I come back. What did I know here? No. In fact, my friend, I don't want to right now, if she should call me, the first thing she says, when are you leaving this country? People don't want to hear it. And again, I think it's because I finally had grown to the point where I could define what happiness was for me. I'm sorry, no shade to the city of London, but like that wasn't home for me at that point. And if I allowed the pressure of perfection and the pressure of you must get it right, also the pressure of false progress, upward ever, downward never, because moving to Nigeria is like a down, like, why are you taking a step back? Why are you doing all this? If I had followed that, I dare say I would be miserable today. And I had to decide who to explain to and who to ignore, because I had first convinced myself where Abimbola. We actually called me and Abimbola. We said, bro,
talk to yourself.
We cannot continue like this. After I had convinced myself, knowing everything that was on ground, with the support of those 2 people I mentioned, it was easy to now tell a few good people. In fact, I told them I'm coming. I said, don't worry, I'm coming. Then came back and then started rebuilding. Now, it's easier for people to say, oh, that was a good move. Because we even see that you're happier. We see that, things make more sense. You feel more fulfilled. But like, if you had followed that whatever. So I think, just to sum it up, checking in with yourself, that firstborn daughter, minus what everybody thinks. What do you want? What do you think? Like, how do you define what happiness is, what you want out of life? And also being able to say, if I move back, I knew if I move back and things don't work, I will still honor myself for making that decision because I did what I felt was best. I wasn't doing it out of arrogance, like, God, I don't care about your will. It's not like I didn't get good counsel. But even if it failed, I have taken care of my heart in that way. So that's the difference between like moving back from the UK and moving back from Nairobi. I didn't even prepare. It just shocked me, but from the UK,
one very key thing I think he said is this forward ever, backward never. I think it's another thing that we might need to rejig on this podcast. So just keep going. No, going forward is usually not a signal of progress. You can go so far
because you're just determined.
Exactly, just
to
because you
move.
want to go. But you're on the wrong path. So it's not progress eventually, and then sometimes just taking a step back can be actual progress. And we need to admit that it's okay to make a decision and say, okay, I want to go back again and reevaluate. And this is not good for me, and I'm going to make a decision because it's not good for me. Right? It is nice for optics. People are enjoying it. I'm in the UK babe. You want to be a UK babe. And my going back does not stop. You can still come if you really like it. And I think it was a really bold step, and I'm glad that it came good. And I think I want you to talk to us about is your application for a scholarship.
Oh,
because I think it's something that a lot of people can learn from.
Yeah, that was the biggest failure period of my life. It was 6 years of constant no's. So I finished uni in 2016, did like a short internship, but before I wrote my final paper, I was already applying to scholarship. My dream school, London School of Economics, and I've always been interested in international development. So they had one course, African development, one scholarship, applied to other schools, got the admissions, waiting for funding. And the UK, I've just always known that because of the quality of education for my course in the UK, that's what I want. So I applied, got this admissions. School is supposed to start in September. So it means from when you apply, maybe like the previous August, you'll be checking your email every day. They'll tell you progress from this point to that point, grades. No. From all of them. I'm like, bro, what happened? So that was when I moved back to Nairobi. The plan in my head was I'll finish school. I'll do this internship. By the time I'm done with this internship, scholarship will have come. I will go and do my master's. That was the plan. So coming back home, that was part of what even added to the feeling of defeat. Like, bro, nothing is working for you in this life. No problem now. Started NYC, main applications, continued with LSE, but now starting to expand to other schools that were good. So Sussex is like the best in the world for international development. Some other school meeting, I don't remember them now. Applied. Now it started. Chevening scholarship, Commonwealth scholarships. What did I not apply? And I'm a wordsmith. If there are two things I can brag about, I'm hilarious and I'm good with words. So I'm writing, CV, everything. No, from this one, no. Some people will tell you, no, you put a good application, we put you on the reserve list. Okay, so no. I got so good at it. So this was 2016. So I applied in 2016, 2017 when I moved back, 2018. Around 2018, where I was working, I met someone there. We were literally just, I was applying on my computer. I was like, I want to do my master's. I'm like, have you heard of this funding? And she's like, no, could you put me through? I put her through. Do you know who got the scholarship?
Not you.
Not me.
She
got it.
Jesus
she got it. No problem. I'm like,
this person was even interested in the first place. Like,
I said, no problem. And I was genuinely happy for her. But
Because
I was very sad for myself.
Yes.
You know that blog post I was telling you about, that failure blog post?
Yeah.
What I lost in that thing was it's not even this particular round though. It's like a few years down the line, the same thing. Because 2018 that happened. 2019, 2020, I talked to another person again. In fact, I got into people used to send me their personal statements to write. I used to charge.
Wow.
For you to know that this girl has not gotten scholarship, but if she writes my essay,
I will get.
Oh God!
Oh my God!
And it was crazy. Another person, the one for 2021, which was literally like 2020, which was the one where everyone, my organization then, I got to work one day. Everybody, they just told me stand up. They organized a mock interview. Everybody took it seriously. I was selling my fridge, my mattress. I did not stock up my house, like the house I was living in Abuja. I did not furnish because I just kept thinking, I'm soon going to get this. Because how do you explain it? You put in the work. You do the research. You know the questions. You get to interview stage. You literally cannot see what is stopping you from getting it. In addition to the fact that you believe that this is something that God wants you to do.
Yeah.
You've probably received prophecies in the direction. Ha!
No, it must. It's the feeling of, okay, I helped you.
So it means I know something.
Yeah.
Like, you have proof in other people's lives that you know something. It's just not bearing fruit in your own. Only no problem. 2020 was like the closest I got to it. It was lockdown. It was in lockdown. I had my interview over whatever. I went there, I talked, everybody around me was basically already saying congratulations. My friend was saying, Abimbola, where you go? I'm the one taking the fruit. I'm the one taking the this. I'm like, cool guys, whatever. And then I remember the day it came. When email starts with further to your application, I was depressed. I didn't get it. The person I was preparing with got it. 2 now.
Jesus Christ.
I said, no problem. I sank into depression a little. I went to work. I'll be crying. Everybody just was like,
yeah.
And they will go, no problem. What that did was that it made me give up entirely. I don't know if you've ever, I think we were talking about this. You've gotten to a point where you really want something, especially if like you've been praying about it. But then you're now getting to this mourning period where you're like, Lord, whether this thing comes or not, it will be. But like you need to be in that space where you've truly like you need to let go. So you're feeling all the everything. So that happened. I just let it go. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to chop my life in this country. I don't care. I don't care. And I was like, Abuja is a dead, sorry guys. Abuja is a dead place. But like, I just said, you know what, I'm going to Lagos. Jackie Lottery and what's a Mileko. I came to Lagos. I was just, in the middle of all this, my passport had almost expired. And I just felt the prompting. I'm like, go and renew this passport. I was really telling God, I beg, it's stressful, it's whatever. Thank God I listened. I put in the passport. I was just doing nothing. In 2021, August, I just received an email. They first sent me an email that, your thing was so good, we had to put you on the reserve list. But we've given somebody else the scholarship. And because why are you telling me? I don't even have hope for you again, because remember the previous year was the worst one. So the reason I even applied for this one is because my uncle was like, in August, I just saw the email. You have been selected to.
Wow.
Ewo me too. You know when you say Ewo me too, like, yo, I don't know, that's relief. That's just it. It was relieving. But I cannot take away the things I learned in the 6 years of waiting. 2016 to 2020, 2021, all those cycles.
Yeah.
And then eventually going for it. I think we're talking about how when you've worked for something, when you've waited, when you've gone through failure, when it comes, the way you will milk it, the juice you will get out of it will never compare to if you had done immediately and gotten it immediately. So like, bro, anytime I talk about this, it still gives me goosebumps, because I used to dream of myself in banks in London. I've never gotten there. I would just sleep. I would just dream that I'm in London. I'm like, what is this? Shop in London is shaming me. What is going on? So when it finally happened, it was I was very grateful to God, but I was also grateful to myself for not giving up. Because 6 years is a long time.
It's a long time to try one thing. It's a long time.
To keep getting no's.
It's a long time.
They broke my heart so many times.
It's a long time.
It is what it is.
But yeah, and it's done. It's done. And I like the fact, I think the lesson from that is sometimes you need to go through that process, right? To even value it more. Because what God wants you to get from it, right? If you got to that first try, you might have taken it for granted.
Just to wrap up, I think what I've learned with God is that He's particular about the journey, not the destination.
That's it.
He does it in such a way that when you get to the destination, it becomes like the icing on the cake. Because what you truly enjoyed was the journey. The walking with Him. And this analogy, the way I see it in my head, is like a train coming to dock. If all you're looking forward to is that stop of the train, you would have missed out on the entire thing for just 1 second.
Yeah.
But He wants to train you in such a way that you've enjoyed the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then when you think that you just that was lovely. But it was not lovely.
It wasn't. Usually lovely, like when usually from the end. Yeah. But amazing. We've had an amazing time with you. Thank you so much, Abimbola, for sharing. Thank you for being our first official guest on the FailProof Pod. It's been an amazing time, and we'll see you again. For sure.
I don't know where that you're going.
May
There
I
was
have
a quote
I have a
that-
sign out. High
What's
five.
it?
This
What's
high
it?
five. Yes. So just
I like one
high
quote that
five.
you said earlier. You were like, "Sure, you know you're going to fail this week, and it's not a course."
Yes. It's not a costume. You are going to.
Yeah.
If you're ever going to probably amount to anything that you want,
You're going to fail.
you're probably
So,
going
man,
to fail.
Just be
Probably
comfortable
going
with
to
it.
fail. Thank you again
Yay,
for
thank you for
joining
having
us.
me.
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Yay.
Have an amazing week.
Hey, bye. You might not to spy lizard.